Hello and welcome everyone. We are extremely excited about our fourth annual Heritage Week. Our theme this year is called The Power of Us, which reminds us that each and every one of us plays an important role in Lansdowne High School. Heritage Week is a time for every member of our staff and student body to reflect on what it means to be part of the Eagle Nation. We have an exciting program for you this morning. It is my privilege and honor to welcome Mr. Tommy Reamon Jr.
Tommy Reamon Jr. was torn at one point in his life, whether to pursue a career in NFL coaching or business. The latter took a strong hold.
It certainly wasn't easy. 8 years ago, he started what was then just a t-shirt business while he did coaching and scouting stints that ended just 2 years ago when he was with the Saints. It's since branched into athletic wear.
It was more, I felt like, I didn't feel complete. I felt like it was something missing.
So he came back to Newport News to start his dream. The names that sport his brand reaches the NFL, NBA, and beyond.
I have John Wall, DeAndre Jordan, all the local guys, from, Mike, Tyrod Taylor, Smoke Mizell, Derek Nottie, Super Bowl champion, Russell Wilson, Super Bowl champion, EJ Manuel, Cam Chancellor, Super Bowl champion, Colin Kaepernick, boxers, Danny Garcia, rappers, Pusha T, the list goes on and on.
Not only does he sell apparel online, he opened up a store today from Patrick Henry Mall before family and friends.
A lot of nights studying, just like coaching, studying the game, YouTube videos, because I was a natural athlete. I wasn't a natural business owner, but I'm a competitor, so I took it full on.
Good to go.
Good morning, Eagles. As Mr. Stanley said, my name is Tommy Reamon Jr. I am a Newport News 757 native and also the son of yours truly, Coach Reamon Sr. My background, I'm a sports guy. As you may know, my business is what I'm here to talk about, in entrepreneurship, but I come from a sporting background. I played 4 years on the football team there, graduated, and went on to start my coaching career. I made stops at the University of Virginia, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the University of Miami, came back home to Christopher Newport University, Virginia Tech, and then most recently I got done in 2018 with the New Orleans Saints. And this whole business, the city on my chest entrepreneurship journey started in college, actually. It was some Jordans coming out, and I wanted a shirt to match my shoes. So I had no idea what I wanted to put on my shirt. So I just got on Google and I found like some kind of logo. It was like my initials, TR, and I matched it, to the shoes. And I ended up doing that same logo in a whole bunch of colors to literally match every pair of like Jordans I had in my closet. And even doing that, some guys took notice, like, hey, that's kind of cool, but I never had any ideas of selling a shirt. And fast forward to my senior year, I was listening to the Carter 4 by Lil Wayne. He used to always say, "I'm so New Orleans," and I said, hey, that kind of sounds like Newport News. So whenever he would say, "I'm so New Orleans," I would say, "I'm so Newport News." And one day I said, hey, I'm gonna put that on a shirt. So so I created it online. And I actually didn't make the shirt till about a year later. I sat on the idea for about a year. And I was at the time coaching at the University of Virginia. And that's when I made my first I'm So Newport News shirt. So technically that's when I consider, the whole city on my chest journey being birthed. And I made the shirt. And of course that got some attention from a lot of guys in my city. A lot of people was like, hey, that's a cool shirt. But my aha moment didn't come until a guy asked me if I could make a Norfolk shirt. And I was like, yeah, I could. So I made him a Norfolk shirt. And after that, Hampton, Portsmouth, Virginia Beach, Suffolk, these other cities continued. And I'm like, okay, I really have something here. And so long story short, from there, I'm like, okay, I have an idea that's working. So let me see what I can do to, reach the masses. So I reached out to all my closest buddies that were playing ball, Tyrod Taylor, B.W. Webb, Antoine Bethea, Michael Vick, I got these shirts from these guys, and they posted it on their social media. And like overnight, City on my chest, like a national sensation. They were getting feedback, from people all across the country that, from the area and familiar, but living elsewhere. Like, hey man, how can I get the shirt? How can I get the shirt? So with that being said, I also said I was coaching. Coaching and entrepreneurship don't really mix. In season, we're spending close to 80 to 100 hours, in the office, getting ready, to prepare for the week, the opponent. So last thing they want to hear is the young guy on the staff, out here selling shirts on the side. So I kind of had to put it on the back burner. And then actually, I didn't get a job with the Miami Dolphins because they did their research and got on Google and all this T-shirt stuff popped up. And so I actually put it on the back burner completely for about two to 3 years. I was selling those shirts. People were asking me all the time. Finally, I get done coaching it with the New Orleans Saints and I come back home. Like the video said, I always had this niche to get back to it and attack the brand full time. I didn't have to split time between my job or, any other endeavors that I was doing. And I came back home and I jumped on the full steam ahead. And just last summer, I'm out here literally had no envision for this store. I just knew I had a dope product and I wanted to, sell to people who felt like me, all about being proud of where they come from. And so literally every sale in the 757, I was in my car driving around just to get the sale, just to get the brand back going. So did that for a few months, and next thing you know, a lot of traction is happening on social media. People ordering, going up through the roof. Actually, my phone is jumping off the hook, and I'm like, okay, I think it's time for me to take it to the next level. So I originally thought about the mall, Patrick Henry Mall, where I am today. But my vision was a kiosk. I'm like, hey, I don't want to get too deep over my head. Let me get a kiosk. So I come in, I meet with the guy for about 2 hours, walk around, we're asking all the questions in the world. So I'm ready to pull the trigger, and I noticed that this store that I'm in was empty at the time. It used to be an old Verizon. It was, vacant. So I inquired, and he told me, and of course the store costs a little bit more than the kiosk, but I'm like, hey, I believe in my brand. I think I can pull the store off. Thought about it, slept on it for about a week, walked past the store probably 100 times, just thinking. And, finally I pulled the trigger on. I said, let's do it. And we just opened up this past Saturday. And if you guys check my social media, I posted how it started versus how it's going. And literally a year ago this time, I was cleaning out my dad's garage, throwing away a bunch of old stuff that we had in there to make room for my shop. And within a year, I never saw myself. Eventually I did, but I never knew it would happen this fast. That I'd be sitting in my own store, my own brick and mortar. Less than a year later, attacking this full time. So definitely honored, and I'm definitely blessed. This is something that I truly believe in, the community believes in, and I wanted to create a brand, not just for Newport News and the 757, but for every city and area code worldwide. So if you can see my logo in the back, it's a C, stands for city, but it's also a location symbol. And if you think of a map, you see these dots kind of drop in on the map for, every city there is. So I wanted a logo that could, stand the time of, years later, that it still, has some relevance to it. It doesn't kind of get old. It's clean, it's simple, it's sleek. And that's kind of, sitting on my chest. In a nutshell, we specialize, not just with this area, but we make shirts for cities all across the world. I've had orders come from over 4 different countries, literally over 300 cities within the USA. So I'm pretty proud of that, because like I said, it wasn't a Newport News or a 757 thing. It's a symbol of pride. I wanted, if you felt the way you did about your city, the same way I felt about mine, this brand is for you. And I think, the sky's the limit. I literally, have dreams and aspirations stretching this across the world to every city there is. So that's my story. That's my journey on City on my chest. I would love to answer any questions that you guys may
All right, so there's a little bit of a video lag, so teachers, please put questions into the chat for us. I'm gonna start out with a question.
Okay.
So thinking about the process of you starting your business and where you are now, what would you say has been your biggest roadblock, and how have you overcome that?
I just had to educate myself. I had to take myself back to being a student because I grew up playing football, quarterback, coaching. That's what I did. I could do that in my sleep. Learning how to run a business was a whole different ball game. So I literally had to take myself back to the drawing board, YouTube videos, Googling, just to learn the basics. And because I didn't want to, anything I attached my name to, I put as pride. So I did not want to mess this up. So I literally would study hours and hours and hours. My father would come and check on me. Some days I'd be in there so quiet, I'm just reading, researching, listening to podcasts. So just learning that on the fly because the business was taking off faster than the average, I would say. So I kind of had to fast track my learning just to keep up, the orders that was coming in and the rate that we were growing.
All right, cool. So what about in terms of our seniors that are getting ready to set foot out into the world? And unfortunately, that we haven't been able to have them here at Lansdowne per se. They've been virtual. But in terms of what should they be thinking as they push out of high school and they kind of go out into the world on their own?
I would say two things. For one, if you have hopes and aspirations of starting a business or a side hustle, do something that you're passionate about. Because even with success, you're gonna have some long nights. You're gonna have some slow days where people aren't ordering, and you're gonna definitely doubt if it's all worth it. So I say pick something you're passionate about because if you're passionate, you'll push through those times. Versus something that you don't really care that you think can make a quick dollar. When times get hard, that might just say, you know what, I'm done, I quit. Versus something that you truly care about. I think that's what gets you through the tough times. And then two, just follow your heart. I feel like we're coming up in a society that entrepreneurship is pushed upon everybody. And it's okay if you don't have an idea in your head right away. It's okay if you can't, you don't really know what you want to do or think you have to do something. Just in due time. I'm 31, so there's no clock on it. Just be patient, and something will come to you. And whatever, I think everyone's passionate about something. So, and it doesn't have to be, something that'll make you super rich. Just do something that you're happy about.
Cool. So I have a question from Miss Chambers. Do you have any business mentors?
I do, and a lot of them are guys that I don't even know. Like I said, I'm heavy on YouTube and studying guys, and they're like Damon John, who created Fubu. I study him, intensely. Gary Vee, he's big on entrepreneurship. I listen to him a lot, but I also do have local guys in the community, especially in the t-shirt game. That early on, I went to and seeked a lot of advice, and I think having mentors is huge because you don't know it all, believe it or not. No matter how confident you are in what you're doing, there's somebody who's a little bit more experienced, who's been doing this a little longer than you. And I never have a pride or ego thing to say, hey man, can I ask you a question? So I think it's definitely wise to seek mentors.
Cool. And then the next question was from Miss Muehling. How did you make the connections that helped you get your brand out there?
That's where my sporting background, came into hand. I was blessed to have a father, coach some NFL guys that are like brothers to me. So I was blessed to be born into that situation. And then just through my coaching stints of, working with guys in colleges and NFL, whether they were college guys that went on to, making it, or they were already guys in the NFL with the following, just being, a relatable guy and they believing in the brand, it was something that when I told them about it, they kind of instantly like, hey man, can you give me a shirt? And I would think they would be joking and they were like the next day, hey, where my shirt at? So So kind of just, using the connections that I'd already had. And I think that even goes to, everybody has someone, somewhere, something that they can reach out to. And it may not be to the vast level of the NFL, but, whether it's whatever you want to do, if you wanted to be, you know, a business owner, somewhere you shop, there's a business owner. So even if it's making, a relationship with somebody local in your community, just to start your network and getting your connections out there. So
Okay, cool. So how has it been opening a store during a pandemic?
it's definitely been tough. You see your ups and downs. Definitely is better now than it was, when this kind of pandemic jumped off in I think February, March earlier this year. So definitely, I don't think and then the timing was just right for me because, like I said, I had this idea really come to me that it's time to make this move in the summertime, and I wanted to make a calculated decision, so I didn't rush into it. And I knew the longer I wait, the more things would start to open up. People will start slowly coming back outside. And I have a smaller store, so it's not like I can have a bunch of people in here anyway. So I know a lot of big stores are being hit by the capacity that you can have customers in. So I have my challenges, but I think strategically with me waiting to pull the trigger now to the outside, everything things were opening back up. It helped in my favor.
All right, and then I'm going to take two questions and kind of merge them into one. The first part of it was, did you have to know a lot about business to start? And then the other half of that is, how did you balance a job and school?
Like I said, I knew nothing about running a business. Actually, when I first went to Old Dominion, my major was going to be business, and playing football and learning business, it was like having two full-time jobs. So I ended up switching my major to recreational tourism with emphasis on recreation management. And now that I'm in this position, I wish I would have stuck it through and stuck with it, because I had to learn a lot of stuff that I'm learning now, 10 years ago, and been well ahead of the learning curve. So, and the second question was about balancing, was it a job and?
Yeah, balancing job and school.
Well, for me, it's like football was my job. And a lot of people may not know that requires, work around the clock, whether it's 6 a.m. workouts, practice after class, study hall at night, maintaining that GPA, traveling, and still having to get things done. So it's just a level of dedication. It's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say it was easy, because it was a struggle. But I think if you have a level of dedication and commitment to things that you want to do, you'll find a way. And just seek help, seek resources. Your teachers want to help you, your counselors want to help you, your principal. They're on your team. The world isn't against you. I always say, growing up in school and in college, you will never have more people trying to help you succeed in your life. So take full advantage of that and not just go through the motions, but seek out these resources that can help balance. But it's no easy way around. There's no secret recipe. Just a whole lot of grit and determination.
And that's great that you ended up saying that, because the next question was, how important is it to have a support system around you? And so you dabbled on that, but is there anything additional you want to share about your support system?
Absolutely. That man that walks through your building every day, my father, he has been tremendous throughout my, my entrepreneurship journey, and me dreaming, because he was a dreamer. He was a guy that, played in the NFL, went on to play to Hollywood, to play in a couple movies, and to come back home to help kids touch their dreams, and seeing guys that he's coached become the #1 draft pick in the National Football League. At 10 years old, I saw that dream come true for Mike, and I realized right then and there that this is real, this is reality. I didn't understand the work ethic that came along with it at the time, at 10, 11, 12 years old. But it was put in my DNA that, hey, you can make it if you work hard enough. And he's always kept me, fresh, kept me alive, say, hey, go for it, shoot for the stars. Because you only live one life. So, I can't thank him enough for the support that he's gave me for my 31 years of life, and no matter, what I do, whether it was school, sports, entrepreneurship, um, business, and this clothing fashion thing is new to him, but he comes in, he wants to learn, he's around, he's helping. And there's no price on that. So, and not just him, but just people in my, family, personal family, friends, they want to help. They believe in me, and a lot of things couldn't be done without these guys, being part of my team.
Great. Were there times when you doubted what you were doing? And if so, how did you stay motivated and committed to your business?
Yes, I mentioned that earlier. There's definitely some long days, some days where no sales are coming through. There's days where you got to bust out, a whole bunch of orders and it's not enough time in the day. There's times where, you just feel unmotivated. I'm human too, just like everyone else. And you wake up and it's just one of those days. But that's why I piggyback and say you have to chase something that you're passionate about, because when you have these moments and have these feelings, that's what gets you through. And not just something that you think will make you famous or make you rich. Do something that you care about. And one thing I care about is helping my community and giving back to my city. And that's what, City on My Chest embodies. I didn't touch on that earlier, not just being, a cool clothing line, but, I'm a community activist. And I try to help out with kids any way I can and just show them, it's a better way to do things, another way to do things other than sports. That everybody, I think, grows up wanting to be an athlete or something, and if it doesn't work, your plan B can be just as cool. So one thing that I care about is my community. So that's what City on My Chest embodies. And, I give people hope, believe it or not. When they stop me in the street all the time, say, hey man, we love what you're doing. And that's my motivation. I'm like, it's bigger than me. It's not about Tommy Reamon. It's about, the city of Newport News, the 757, the state of Virginia. And anybody who's watching, because you never know who you may be inspiring, who's going through hard times as well. So that's what keeps me going.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tommy. That concludes all the questions that we've had submitted. We just really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. And we're just so excited for you to have your business opened up over there. And we just wish you the absolute best of luck. We also have, I'm pretty sure you've probably gotten it by now, but if you haven't, there is a box of swag that's coming your way from Lansdowne. And we can't tell you how much we appreciate you taking time to speak with us and the kids this morning. Hopefully you've pushed some inspiration into some of our students, and maybe you've just established some new entrepreneurs in our building. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Lansdowne has been, like family since 2008. My dad, joined you guys. So you guys are family. So it was a no-brainer. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm honored. Any way I can help out, get involved with you guys, or anything you may have going, please feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and we hope you have a great day.
You too. Thank you again.
Thank you.